Welcome to Echoes of My Imagination. My name is Tracy Lee. Sit back, relax, let me tell you a story. Today's story is called The Flamebound Twin. They were born at the exact same second. 2 cries, 1 beat, like a pulse splitting into rhythm. Let's get into it. Their mother, a healer priestess, gasped not from pain but recognition of the same fire that they carried. The midwives wrapped the infants in mirrored cloth, one in crimson, one in cobalt. They named them Ka'il and Noé. Ka'il for flame of dawn, and Noé for flame of dusk. One kicked like lightning, the other opened his eyes wide and calm. From the moment they arrived, they were 2 halves of the same presence. They grew, not as individuals, but as echoes. Ka'il ran before he walked. He leapt from rooftop edges into water bowls with laughing abandon. Noé sat under trees with animals curled at his feet, eyes closed, tracking the flight of birds. They felt each other's emotions like echoes. When one cried, the other winced. When one laughed, the other turned their head in that direction. But they were not the same. Ka'il was fire in motion. Noé was fire in stillness. Ka'il painted fire murals on city walls. Noé composed wind chimes tuned to planetary alignments. Together, they created harmony. Their adolescence was marked by divergence. Ka'il was chosen to join the city guardians, trained in leaping combat, arc fire blades, and defense of the realm. Noé was summoned by the Oracle Assembly to train as a scribe of flame, learning to read breath patterns in volcanic steam and the memory signatures held in bone. They separated for the first time. Ka'il to the cliffs, Noé to the caverns, and something broke. Not loudly, but like thread fraying. They stopped hearing each other in dreams. Ka'il's hands twitched with restless heat. Noé's skin grew cold like distant moonlight. They were becoming whole men, but they felt half. War came to their land. A signal flame erupted in the southern sky. The far cities fell. Ka'il's battalion was deployed to defend the Edge Rift Bridge. Noé was kept hidden. The oracle said his knowledge was more important than his body, but he disobeyed. Noé disguised himself and walked alone for 6 days, barefoot, through scorched fields, chanting a recall frequency only Ka'il would recognize. On the morning of the 7th day, as Ka'il stood on the bridge facing the incoming army, he turned his head and smiled. Noé stood on the opposite tower. The twin flames had reunited. They fought together, not like 2 warriors, but one. Ka'il struck with blade. Noé wielded sonic fields drawn from the tuning forks embedded in his robe. They weaved through enemy lines like wind and fire entwined. The opposing force broke not from wounds, but from witnessing them, something inhuman, divine, bound. But destiny burns brightest before it yields. A final bolt of Skyrfy, an ancient weapon activated by a desperate invoker, struck the tower. Ka'il pushed Noé. Noé tried to hold him. Ka'il fell into the light. Noé screamed, but the sound twisted into a harmonic loop that broke the clouds. When the smoke cleared, only one body remained. Noé buried Ka'il at the river where they had first skipped stones. He lit a spiral flame and whispered, "We were one flame in 2 lanterns. I will carry both now." He looked up at Ka'il's blade and reforged it into a tuning fork. He took his own robes and wove them into a banner hung across bridges. He began to walk from city to city, telling stories, sharing dances, lighting hearths. Years passed. No aged, but children whispered that they saw two men walking, one laughing like thunder, one humming like wind. When he passed, he left no tome, only a carved flame, and beneath it, you are not alone, even when you are. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining me for Echoes of My Imagination. My name is Tracy Lee. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and follow, and I'll catch you next time.